Welcome to Inside Your Community Schools. This show was developed to answer top questions community members have for what takes place inside your community schools. I'm Dr. Jeff Schuler, Superintendent of District 200.
And I'm Erica Loiacono, the Director of Communications for District 200. This episode's topic is the Student Excellence Foundation.
We've got two guests that are joining us on our show today, so I'd like to welcome and thank Jennifer Merck, who is the Vice President of the Student Excellence Foundation, and Lisa Zink, who is the Library Learning Center Director at Whittier Elementary School. Thank you both for joining us this morning. And Jennifer, we're going to start with you right away. Tell us, what is the Student Excellence Foundation?
Well, Jeff, as you know, almost every public school district has an educational foundation, and the Student Excellence Foundation is District 200's foundation. We work alongside the district administration, the building administrators, and the teachers, and what we try to do is support and enrich what happens in the classroom. I'll give you our mission statement just because that kind of captures it. Our goal is to engage the community, to enrich educational opportunities, to enhance the experiences that students have in the classroom. And we're excited about doing that alongside District 200.
Absolutely. And so I want to just for a second kind of talk a little bit about kind of the recent kind of redevelopment of the foundation. I know that the foundation is not brand new for District 200, but has kind of recently gone through a rebirth. And I should say right at the onset, we're incredibly blessed as a school district that we've got amazing support from community groups, our PTAs, our booster organizations, various community organizations that support our schools. But talk a little bit about kind of the recent rebirth of the foundation.
Sure. The foundation is 25 years old, so we're not new to the community, but I think it's been the past 4 or 5 years that we've been kind of reinvigorated, and we have a board of 13 members now. We're an all-volunteer board. Every one of us either have students in District 200 schools right now, or we have had students in District 200, and it's been exciting to see the teacher grants reinvigorated. It's been exciting to see our STEM Expo come together annually, and we've got a lot of corporate involvement from corporations in the area, and it's been a lot of fun to see this come around the district and be able to support in ways that it hasn't in the past.
Absolutely, and kind of in that spirit, Jennifer. What do you see as kind of the place of the foundation relative to some of those other organizations? I've often said that the work that the foundation has done recently is certainly not in competition with other organizations that support schools. But what do you kind of see as the foundation's niche? How is it different than perhaps PTAs or other organizations?
Well, a great context for answering that question is to say that I was a PTA president at an elementary school. I was a PTA president at a middle school, and in that role, of course, my work was supporting that particular school, that principal, those teachers. The thing that is unique about the foundation is that it's really across the district. The other thing, because it's across the district, is that I think we're able to seek out corporate funds in a completely different way. PTAs do approach corporations for supporting particular projects, and that's great when they're able to do that. But I think corporations tend to want to get involved with something that's going to impact. I mean, they're looking for marketing opportunities, and that's the reality of why they want to get involved. And we're able to offer that to them because we communicate with all the parents across the district, we communicate with all the staff across the district, and so we're able to seek out those funds in a way that the school district can't, because it's not your role, you're educators, but also the PTAs are not really in that role as well. So we really see ourselves as partners with boosters and PTAs, and certainly not in competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Jennifer, you mentioned funds. What does the foundation do with the funds that you take in?
Yes, that's a great question. The bread and butter of what we do is teacher grants. We call them Student Excellence Grants, and teachers can apply, LLC directors can apply, and we distribute those twice a year across the district. Another thing that we do is our annual STEM Expo, which is November 9th, Friday, November 9th this year, or 2018, I should say, and we are excited about that. It's a great opportunity. I think we aim it for K-8 students, and so it's a great opportunity for students to come in and just see what's going on with STEM organizations and projects, and that's a lot of fun to see kids come through and have those experiences as well. We are also involved with the business incubator projects at the high schools, and we support them financially, but we also have been part of organizing and marketing what they're doing with the classes at the incubator program.
Excellent. So, Mrs. Zink, thank you for joining us today. You've been the proud recipient of 2 Student Excellence grants. Talk about those grants and how you've implemented those at Whittier.
Sure. So the first grant that I wrote and received was in partnership with our school's PACE teacher, and we decided that we wanted to get some equipment for our makerspace. We decided to look at some tech materials and then some high-tech, or some no-tech materials and some high-tech materials. And with our no-tech materials, the PACE teacher focused on manipulatives and some different building materials that would not be thrown away. They would be in it for the long haul. They'd have some longevity. And we put them in our library, and we used them much like you can check out a book. Teachers were able to check out the materials, and they circulated throughout our school. They circulated in classrooms, and they also came to the library to use these materials. The materials that I sought through that grant were the more tech-end materials. I asked for Spiros, which are programmable robots, and we use those with our coding, and I use those with the student tech team in the library. And we also use those in classroom activities. We use them for math. We're using them for different logic activities. And then we also, this was another part of the first grant that we asked for. We asked for a green screen, a pop-up green screen, and some iPads and some applications to be able to do green screen editing, and that ended up kind of serving us for our second grant, which we received this fall, which was all the recording equipment to do full-scale recording in our school. We have repurposed our computer lab, which we no longer needed because all of our materials are mobile at this point. We have Chromebooks, we have iPads, and we don't go to a lab to use those, so we're heading out to the classroom. Teachers sign those out. And we've changed the lab into a green screen recording space that kids can either in small groups, large classrooms, either with me as the librarian or with other teachers, do recording, do presentations, and then they've learned how to do the editing to make them become presentable materials, all because of these materials that we were granted. Before, we had kind of dreamed about it. We had some ideas that we wanted to do, but we didn't necessarily have the right materials to make that happen.
So the video production equipment you received you were one of 17 schools in the district to receive that equipment, and so we are very grateful to the foundation for providing that equipment for, I think, all 13 elementaries, all 4 middle schools.
Exactly.
And so I'm curious, Lisa, in the past, you'd never assume that a library director would be heading up a video production project in a school. Can you talk about the changing role of the librarian in our schools?
It actually has changed a lot, and I don't even know that I could have thought that this is where I would be. It's been interesting. Instead of kids just coming to me for that isolated library time that we did in the past, it's much more of an inclusive model with a lot of collaboration that I do push in. What I do is when teachers are doing their planning, whether it be lesson planning, whether it be curriculum planning for the year, we talk about, I'm usually part of the meetings, then we talk about how I can come to them and what I can do to enhance these lessons. So sometimes they'll take a project that they've traditionally done one way and we'll say, hey, how about if we try doing it this way? And sometimes they'll have the idea of like, hey, we really thought that we'd like to give this a shot. Do you think you could help us do that? And so instead of being just like the wait and see model of the library, it's more like, let me come to you, let me help make this happen. And for me, it's been interesting because I've been able to learn about some of the tech tools before other people, and through our district's FIT programming and which we've had training for, I've been able to learn about some new programs that then I can suggest to teachers, like, hey, what do you say we give this a shot? And then I can kind of help them through the bumps and, you know, the things that we don't always know how they're going to work. and then kids are able to grow in ways that they weren't able to do that before.
You talk kind of from the student perspective. I've heard you talk before about just the impact you see these opportunities have on kids and what they do in our schools. Can you touch on that a little bit? How is this changing the experience for kids?
Sure. Well, so before, I think if kids had that as an interest, whether it be video production or maybe they thought they wanted to be an actor, they wanted to be somebody who learns to present, it was in a smaller scale. You would maybe have a teacher that twice a year you had to do a presentation. You do like your state poster, and then after that maybe you'd do a country presentation. And now with the the advent of the green screen room and all this equipment, production and presentation is like a daily part of these kids' lives. So kids that before maybe wouldn't have tried it, or they would have been afraid to, they're able to explore and do that, and they're able to grow in such a bigger way. So maybe they're not comfortable in front of the camera, but then they can be the person that does all the editing for a green screen. Or maybe they have good ideas, but they're afraid to talk about them in a whole group, but one-on-one in the green screen room, it's not quite so intimidating. And a lot of kids that, I can't say didn't present, because they all would be required to present as as a target that we're asking them to meet. A lot of kids that might not have been comfortable with that presentation are not only comfortable with it, they're like seeking it out, and they're asking on it, whether it be in tech clubs at lunch with me, or I had a few girls that said, we really want to make a movie about our friendship. Can we use the recording studio on Friday? So these are kids that before wouldn't have done that, and it's great to see.
Yeah, what a great illustration of partnership. So I think what I hear in that, which amazing for District 200, is partnership with the foundation and creating the opportunity. Obviously, partnership at your level. Thank you for bringing that opportunity alive for kids. It's great to see, not only kind of how this project went from idea to impact. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Good. And for one other kind of question for you or thought, a comment. I seldom talk to a group of students in District 200 where I don't hear them talk with great amazement about the work that their teachers do. I also know that the foundation creates an opportunity to celebrate, recognize some of our best and brightest with teachers. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We called our Distinguished Educator Awards, and we give out these awards at an event which is actually happening next week on April 26th. We call it Celebrate Our Stars, and we'll be honoring 6 teachers in the district, as well as a volunteer that has worked tirelessly with the foundation, and then 2 former principals. Specifically with the Distinguished Educators, we have 3 north side, 3 south side. We've got elementary, middle, high school on each side of town, so that's our 6. And it is a wonderful opportunity. I think we typically begin in January, and we offer the opportunity for parents and students to nominate teachers. And it is so exciting to see those nominations come in. The parents and the students tell stories about all the things that teachers did for them, and it's really it's very heartwarming to see the impact that teachers have on students' lives and families' lives as well.
So Jennifer, if somebody in the community wants to get involved in the foundation, maybe they're not sure exactly in what capacity or what talent or gift they have to offer, what would you suggest to the person?
Yeah. One of my favorite things is connecting with people in the community and helping them figure out the ways that they would like to be involved. We have ways to connect with us, everything from helping an event, maybe you're picking up the balloons or the pizza for the event, to chairing an event would also be a possibility. We would welcome people to join our board of directors. We have every year spots for people in the business community to help with mentoring and coaching for the Business Incubator program at the high school, and that's a great way for certain people to get involved. Anyone that's interested, our website is studentexcellencefoundation.org, and you can check out ways to volunteer there, and we would welcome you to connect with us.
That's great. And Lisa, you've obviously had a great experience with the foundation, have received a couple of grants for them.
Yeah.
So for any of your colleagues in other schools that might be contemplating a request or a partnership with the foundation, what would you suggest to them?
I would recommend that this is the way to start your dream. It's something that you might have an idea for, you're not exactly sure how it's going to fit into your curriculum or how you're going to fund it, and find someone to partnership with on the grant, and go ahead and give it a shot, because the way that the kids will grow will be worth that risk that you took.
That's great. So thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
Lisa, thank you for all your hard work for our
Thank
students
you.
in District 200, and Jennifer, thank you for the amazing work that the Student Excellence Foundation has done.
You're
so
very
it's
welcome.
really, really appreciated. Well, that's all for this edition of Inside Your Community Schools. This is the program designed to answer questions that community members have about your community schools. We look forward to seeing you around in one of your schools. Thanks for joining us.